Hello and welcome to Rathods IS. Today in this session, we are going to discuss current affairs of 18th March 2024. So here I am taking Delhi edition of Hindu, and first of all we are going to pick out the important articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. So there will be not more than 7 to 8 articles which will be relevant from our examination point of view. So my sincere request is don't waste much time in reading political articles. Because of elections and because of simultaneous elections in some states and even electoral campaignings they will be going on and merging of different political parties that will be seen in the news. So that will be not at all important from our examination point of view. So only the things which are important and relevant we have to see those. And how can you identify which article is important? So if you have a thorough knowledge regarding this UPSC syllabus and if you by heart the syllabus, what is present in GS paper 1, what is there in GS 2, GS 3 and GS 4. So mostly your GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 will be 90% of your current affairs. And from your ethics, the case studies around almost all case studies they will be from your current affairs. Okay, so you have to prepare from this point of view. Okay, so you have to prepare from this point of view. And now without wasting any time, let us see the front page. So this is front page, and what good news for you students, there is no article which is important from your front page today. Okay, so simply skip this front page. And even the city page also I found nothing much important. You can skip this and you can directly move on to the states page. And in the states page also most of the articles are relevant. Okay, and you can see like mostly political articles are seen here in this states page. So let us find out which article is important. So here you can see like one small article. So it is talking about CID launches probe into PoCO against Yediyurappa. So we are not going to bother about Yediyurappa, who is he and what he did, but we are bothering about this PoCO. Okay, PoCO. So what is this PoCO? That is Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act. So let us see some dimensions like what you have to see from this article point of view. Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act. So when we came up with this act? In year 2012. So here I will tell you like in how many dimensions you can think about this topic. So first of all, you have to see like what are the provisions. You have to see like what are the provisions of this PoCO Act, and especially there is one controversy regarding definition of children. So who are children according to this act? And even consent. So consent is also seen in news, and it is also some controversy which is going on regarding this PoCO. And actually one question I want to pose to you is, yes, in 2012 itself we came up with this PoCO Act. Yes or no? Yes, right? So from that time onwards, it has been around 12 years. A lot and lots of news regarding this PoCO and lot of punishments to are given under this PoCO. Whether decreasing of crime happened or not according to this PoCO. So according to this PoCO, it is saying that it is related to the sexual offences on children. So even though after implementation of this PoCO, whether there is an evidence of decreasing of this case against children? No. Yes or no? No. So here what are the reasons? You have to see like what are the reasons for increasing of offences against children. and you have to see like what are the measures can be taken. So in this way you can also think, because you are going to be a bureaucrat. For example, you got this IPS, okay, IPS, and you got some allotted with the cadre where these PoCO cases are very high. So at that time you have to take the decisions on the time. So from now onwards you have to think like, if so and so case comes to you, so what are the steps that you are going to take? And even we can connect this topic with your GS4 ethics. So this topic is related to one important chapter of your ethics, that is attitude. So even though lots and lots of acts, laws, rules, regulations, they have come up by the government, but we are not decreasing this crime rate. So one important thing that we have to do here is, we have to bring attitude change in the people, attitude towards these offenses. Okay, so all these are the different dimensions that you have to see from this article, and there is also a very high chance of getting your prelims question regarding this PoCO. Clear? So these are some important dimensions that you have to see from this article. And now let us move on. Here you can see very important article. Odisha police traces illegal poppy farms inside a tiger reserve. So the name of that tiger reserve is Simlipal Tiger Reserve. So you can get a simple question like, Simlipal Tiger Reserve is in use, where it is located. In options you will be getting like Maharashtra, MP, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. So answer here is Odisha. Simlipal Tiger Reserve is located in the state of Odisha. So in this we also can expect as simple questions. Okay, it is not like UPSC will be giving all questions like tough questions. It's not like that at all. Okay, and if you are preparing for other state service examinations, there is one more article for you. That is Sangeet Kalanidhi Award for vocalist T.M. Krishna. Okay, so here you have to know about the Sangeet Kalanidhi Awards. Okay, it is for music. Okay, so from that here it is important. And if you see the dimensions regarding this illegal poppy cultivation, so you have to see like some areas we can connect. It is talking about opium or poppy cultivation. It is talking about opium or poppy cultivation. And now let us see the dimensions. So as you all know that opium cultivation is illegal, but in some states you are going for cultivation. So you have to see like which states. And you have to know some facts regarding this opium. Because nowadays from science and technology point of view, UPSC asking some basic questions. Like in last year 2023 prelims, UPSC asked a question regarding Indian squirrels. So no one expected that, but the information regarding that Indian squirrels is present in your NCERTs. So here there is a chance of getting basic facts regarding this opium, and you have to see like what is the status. You have to see like what is the status of opium cultivation in India. So what is the status of opium cultivation in India? And you have to see like why people they are going for illegal cultivation, and whenever they are going for illegal cultivation, so they are choosing some areas. So like this article is saying like tiger reserve. So you have to see like how people they are selecting the areas when they want to go for illegal cultivation of this opium. And you have to know about Psychotropics Drugs Act, which is present in India, which is talking about prohibition of cultivation of this opium. Okay, and you have to see what are the uses of this opium or applications, so where we are using that. So all these are different dimensions, and this topic is important from environment and ecology, and as well as from your internal security point of view. So now let us see this article in detail. So context says that why it is in news first of all, because deep inside a dense forest which is in the limits of general public, and especially in a tiger reserve where tigers are present in abundance, these are the natural barriers. But even though there are natural barriers like dense forests, tigers, very good numbers, so even there is a threat to the life. So these natural barriers they are failed to stop these narcotic traffickers from initiating poppy cultivation. So even though there are many natural barriers are there, so people they are coming outside of those natural barriers, and this narcotic traffickers, so they are going for cultivation of this poppy, okay, in improbable location. So where is that location exactly? In this Simlipal Tiger Reserve. So this Simlipal Tiger Reserve, it is one of the largest tracts of contiguous forest in Odisha. So which has hit by the headlines for wrong reasons again. So again it is in news because of this illegal cultivation of this poppy or opium. So poppy cultivation has taken up in around 22 acres of land, and finally they had been destroyed by the raids. So if we're talking about the data, so this is the poppy. Okay, so the image that you can see here is poppy. So poppy cultivation in India, so if you see like some facts regarding this opium poppy plant. So the opium poppy plant, it serves as the origin of opium gum, and even it contains some crucial alkaloids. They are like morphine, codeine, and as well as thiamine. So these are some important alkaloids which are present. So by this opium or poppy plant, so normally I will show you like image, so how it will be, so how the opium gum is extracted. So I will be explaining you that. So here you can see some round images like, so they will be like this. So what happened here is, so the people who are cultivating this opium or poppy, so they will be just making a small incision on the surface. So that what happened, the liquid will be coming out, and it will be like solidifies after some time, and that will be extracted. That is called as opium gum. And this opium gum, which is a one important source of different alkaloids, okay, like we can extract morphine, codeine, and thiamine. And actually morphine is one of the excellent analgesic. So even if you are getting sometimes kidney stones and severe pain, so they will be giving you morphine, okay, but only in the strict conditions only you can take the morphine, but they will be not giving the doses more than 2. That means they will be giving the 2 doses, that's it, not more than that. So particularly in case of severe and agonizing pain such as experienced by terminally ill patients who are facing this cancer, so at that time to provide some quiet relief, yes, they will be giving morphine. And codeine is normally present in the cough syrups. So because of this reason, even in cough syrups you can see the presence of alcohol. So because of this alcohol, in some cough syrup we will be having this codeine. So after drinking this cough syrup you will be getting sleep. That is the reason, because of alcohol sometimes, and even in some cough syrups they will be having this codeine. And if you are talking about the data regarding opium cultivation in India, so India is one of the few countries that legally grow opium, okay, only in some areas, okay. So Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act of 1985, so this act which is giving power to central government to give the permit and to go for regular cultivation of this opium, and this opium can be used only for this medical and scientific purpose, not more than that. And the government of India notifies the tracts where opium cultivation can be licensed, okay. Every year government is releasing the data regarding this license, and these notifications, they were commonly referred as opium policies. It is very important. And the Central Bureau of Narcotics, that is CBN, which is located in Gwalior, under the Narcotic Commissioner, so issues license to farmers to cultivate opium poppy. And opium cultivation is permitted in the notified tracts, especially in some states like MP, Rajasthan and UP. And even in this MP, Mandsaur district and Chittorgarh and Jhalawar district of Rajasthan, they constitute about 80% of the total area. Okay, so if you see here, I want to give you one prelims practice questions. So in this way also you can expect question in your prelims. Question here is, in India, which one of the following is responsible for issuing of license to farmer to cultivate opium? So there are A, B, C, D options. So please let me know the correct option for this answer. And now let us see the next topic. Let us move back to our page, Hindu page. So here you can see that one important article. So it is not the new one, but always there is senior news and there are many beginners who are watching this analysis, right? So for your sake, I am discussing this topic. And actually one island which is seen in news, that is Katchatheevu Island. So from that also you can get a map based question or some facts regarding this Katchatheevu Island which is in news. So if you see context, it says that 21 Tamil Nadu fishermen arrested by Lankan Navy and 2 trawlers impounded. That means they confiscated these 2 trawlers. So this article is very important, and now let us see the dimensions. So this article, this type of news always seen frequently. So this article is talking about fisherman issue. It is talking about fisherman issue. So fisherman issue is seen between India, Sri Lanka. This is the one country. And next country is India, Pakistan. So between India, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, we have this fisherman issue. So whenever there is crossing of international maritime boundary and whenever Indian fisherman is entering, then Sri Lankan Navy will come and they will be arrested. So in the same way here, especially Gujarat fishermen, they will be catched by this Pakistan and they will be kept in the jails. So actually one movie it is going to be released, that is Tandale movie. It is about Gujarat fishermen, how they are facing issue in Pakistan jails. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see from this article point of view. And especially this article is at most important from your GS paper 2. And from GS paper 2 point of view, I will let you know like how many dimensions you can think. So if you see the dimensions here, the first and the foremost thing here is you have to see about this UNCLOS. So what is UNCLOS? UNCLOS is nothing but United Nations Convention of Law of Sea. So this UNCLOS which talks about the territorial jurisdiction of a country in the maritime. That means, for example, let us take a country here. So let us consider this square box or rectangle box as a country. And this country, it is having the well-defined boundary. Yes, countries are having well-defined boundary, and even if you open your world map, yes, you will be seeing the boundary of so and so country in the political map. Yes or no? So what happens if this country is having the boundary with the water? Like for example, you can take situation of India. So India have here Arabian Sea, here we have Bay of Bengal, and here we have Indian Ocean. So it is the maritime location of India. So not only India with the sharing boundary with this Arabian Sea, but even here we have Pakistan, even here we have Iran. So whether we say that entire Arabian Sea is belonging to India, whether Pakistan will say okay, take this Arabian Sea? No. And even here there are other countries like Myanmar, whether this Myanmar will be accepting, or else here we are having a very small country, that is Sri Lanka. If you are saying that entire Bay of Bengal or Indian Ocean is mine, so whether it will say okay? No, no country will be not saying okay, because water is also very important economic source for the countries. Yes. So the economy which is based on the water is called as blue economy, and day by day here blue economy is getting its own prominence. Yes or no? So because of this, to know the boundary of so and so country in the water, so we came up with this UNCLOS, United Nations came up with this UNCLOS. It says like till how much area, so the country's jurisdiction is there. Understood? So it says that until 200 nautical miles, it comes under exclusive economic zone. So until this, yes, country has its jurisdiction. So beyond this, the water is present, that comes under international water. That means all countries, they have the power in this international water. But till this exclusive economic zone, that is EEZ, that is 200 nautical miles, it is the power of that country. So country can make the laws until this. Okay, understood? So this is unclass that you have to know. And you have to know like what are the reasons. So what are the reasons for this India, Sri Lanka? Why we are having this fisherman issue? So what is this international maritime boundary? And apart from this, there are many small islands that are located. So what are those islands and what are the issues of those islands? So this is about international maritime boundary. And apart from that, you have to see which are the agreements between India and Sri Lanka talks about this issue of fishermen and how can we resolve this issue in the future. So all these are the dimensions that you have to think. So now let us see the notes part. So context, why it is in news? Sri Lankan Navy arrested 21 fishermen, okay, who belongs to this Rameshwaram and impounded, that means they confiscated even these 2 trawlers belonging to these people. And if you see the details, it says that according to reports, Navy personnel who were on surveillance duty, so they arrested fishermen near Katchatheevu Island. So here you have to focus on this Katchatheevu Island because recently we are going to come up with the development projects in this Katchatheevu Island. So because of this is in news and there is a high chance of getting question regarding this Katchatheevu Island. And they were held on charges of poaching and crossing international maritime boundary line and they were kept in the jail. So now let us see why this Katchatheevu Island is in news, because there is also a high chance of getting question. So we are not going to take any chance. So recently here Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority and an Indian company, they signed contract for building hybrid renewable energy systems. So here recently Sri Lankan Sustainable Energy Authority, so they had signed a contract and this contract is nothing but hybrid renewable energy system. So where it is present in this depth or Katchatheevu Island. So now let us see some facts regarding this Katchatheevu or Katchatheevu Island. So it is located in this Palk Strait. It is located in this Palk Strait and it is a stretch of sea that separates Sri Lanka from southern India. And actually it is very close to famous island of Delt, okay, that is known as Katchatheevu. And even if you are talking about historical significance, so even the Sangam literature also there is a presence of this Katchatheevu Island. So in that Sangam literature they are called it as this Mani Pallavam. So it is also very important from your prelims. And now let us have a look over this map. So here this is Sri Lanka, right? So here we have Deft Island. So here we have this Katchatheevu Island. Okay, that's it. And this is international maritime boundary line. So this blue color line, it is a boundary line between India and Sri Lanka. So here this is Rameshwaram. So the fishermen of this Rameshwaram, they had been arrested now. So now let us see what is the issue between India and Sri Lanka regarding this fishermen. So if you know this, you can write a very good mains answer with a map that I shown now, right? So the fishing grounds is one important issue. So the issue revolves around the fishing activities of both Indian and as well as Sri Lankan fishermen in Palk Bay area. And maritime boundary agreement, so we signed in 1974 and 1976, but there is no proper definition of international maritime boundary line between the two countries. And as per this 1974 agreement, so it said that each country shall have the sovereignty and exclusive jurisdiction and control over the waters, islands, continental shelf and subsoil. So they are falling on its own side of aforesaid boundary. And in this 1976 agreement, each party shall respect the rights of navigation through its territorial sea and exclusive economic zone in accordance with the laws and regulations and as well as rules of international law. So all these things are which are said in this 1974 and 1976 agreement. And apart from this, even the Sri Lankan civil war is also one important reason regarding this issue which is going on. And even one important issue is bottom trawling. Yes, if you are going for this bottom trawling, so that will lead to exploitation of this fisheries and fishing sector, and that will also not lead to sustainable development. So in this bottom trawling, so Indian fishermen, they will be using this trawling and they will be dragging very large fishing nets so that even small fishes, they will be also catched. And from the sea bed, this will be drawn. So because of this, what happened? Lots and lots of exploitation will be happening. So this is one important issue. And even Tamil Nadu have marine fishing regulation of 1983. So under this, mechanized fishing boats, they can be only used beyond this 3 nautical miles from the coast. But fishermen, they will be crossing even international maritime boundary line as well. And even there is inefficient joint working group and was started in 2016 that would meet every month to discuss about fishery related issues, but till now we do not have the proper meetings. So these are some important issues. And directly now you can move on to this editorial page. So this editorial page is about elections and we already discussed number of times here. So we are not going to see that. And this article, it is about how election commission have to ensure free and fair elections. So this topic point of view, it is very important because you can expect a question like how election commission of India can ensure free and fair elections. Okay, so we are going to discuss that. And apart from that, there is also one issue that you have to see, and there is also a highly chance of getting organizations and the members of organizations in your prelims and mains. So from that point of view, you are going to discuss this. So this topic is important from India-Myanmar relations and as well as what is the role of ASEAN in this resolving of conflict in Myanmar. So these two are at most important and we are going to see that. So first let us see about ASEAN and its role in addressing this issue of Myanmar. So why this Myanmar is in news? Because today it is around March 18th, right? So March 9th, on this day what happened? Military junta started. That means in 2020, when it had been around 3 years completed, Myanmar is under military junta. So even though here we have number of organizations, international groupings, etc., but none of them had resolved this issue. So this is one cause of concern. So now let us see what is happening. So 3 years ago on March 9, 2021, army trucks pulled up in front of MISMA's headquarters in Yangon, and actually soldiers proceed towards the office and they looted the Independence Media Group, and here they looted whatever they wanted, and finally Myanmar came under this military junta in 2021 itself. So we're talking about ASEAN. So to address this issue, ASEAN came up with a 5-point census. So actually Asian leaders, they came up with this addressing of this crisis of Myanmar through this 5-point consensus. So in this 5-point consensus, they talked about the first and the foremost thing here is to stop the violence. Okay, so they said about cessation of violence, and they said that we need to come up with a dialogue among the parties and we have to focus on mediation facilitated by an Asian special envoy. And next one is humanitarian aid provision and envoy's visit to Myanmar to meet with all the parties. So there are the 5 points. The first one is stopping of violence, second one is dialogue with the parties, and third one is mediation. So mediation is one of the alternate dispute resolution mechanism. And this one is humanitarian crisis, because people, they are facing lots and lots of issues. So for the people, yes, we need to provide humanitarian aid. And next one is envoy's visit to Myanmar to meet the parties. So these are the 5-point consensus they came up with this ASEAN. And the ASEAN faces several challenges. Like for example, adherence to the 5-point consensus by all the parties, and managing internal dynamics with Myanmar, and even to coordinate with the humanitarian aid. Okay, so all these things are the challenges that are mainly faced by the ASEAN. And if you're talking about what are the prospects, how can we come up with a peace in this Myanmar? Like what are the measures or what are the needs? So that we are going to discuss now. So if you're talking about, if you want to move towards a peace in this Myanmar, so we can have a coordinated approach by ASEAN, and even international community, they can come and they can participate so that they can pressurize on this military officers, and we can come up with a dialogue or a resolution for this issue. And next one is the effectiveness of these efforts. It depends upon the commitment of all the parties. So how all the parties are involved. So how they are talking, how they are coming up with the mediation, dialogue, and engaging in the constructive dialogue. That is very important. And apart from this, if you are talking about this ASEAN, so the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, so this ASEAN, it is a regional organization. So actually it has been established to promote political and social stability, to address this rising tensions among this Asia-Pacific post-colonial states. And if you are talking about the important motto of this ASEAN, it is one vision, one identity and one community. So it is a motto of ASEAN. And if you are talking about secretariat of this ASEAN, which is located in Indonesia, Jakarta. So who are the member nations of this ASEAN? So we have Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia. So these are the 10 member states. You have to remember this, and India is not part of this. Okay, it is clear? Yes, now let us see the next article. As I said, it is about how Election Commission is going to ensure free and fair elections. Yes, why it is in news? Because we are going to have the general elections to 18th Lok Sabha, and it is can be done in around 7 phases and 44 days, and counting will be scheduled for June 4th. And even 4 states are having simultaneous elections, that is election for state legislative assembly and Lok Sabha together. Okay, that's it. And we are going to see like how Election Commission can ensure free and fair elections. So Election Commission will ensure free and fair elections by enforcing and by maintaining the model code of conduct before elections. Okay, and even Election Commission will punishes if any candidate or party which is violating that model code of conduct. And next important power with this Election Commission is it will also give the discipline of political parties, because discipline of political parties can be maintained by this Election Commission of India, because it can de-recognize the parties if they are failing to maintain the democracy, inner party democracy. And even here ECI will also upholds the values which are present in our constitution like equality, equity, impartiality, independence, rule of law, superintendence, direction and control over electoral governance. And even ECI conducts elections with the highest standard of credibility. Okay, credibility, freeness, fairness, transparency, integrity, accountability, autonomy and professionalism. And even ECI which also ensures participation of all eligible citizens in electoral process in an inclusive, voter-centric and voter-friendly environment. And even it engages with the political parties and all stakeholders in the interest of electoral processes. And if ECI which also create awareness about electoral process and electoral governance and voters, political parties, election functions, candidates. Okay, so in this way here, ECI will strengthen confidence and trust in the electoral process in the country. And apart from that, during the times of elections, it can order government to follow some guidelines, because it is a responsibility of Election Commission to ensure free and fair elections. And at the time of election duty, government officers, they work under the control of EC and they will be not working under the control of ruling party. So this is a thing that you have to remember. And even the commission approaches the government well in advance to obtain the names of senior officers for the purpose of appointment as observers. So before any elections here, ECI can appoint some people as observers. And commission via sweep, and ECI engages more and more voters in the electoral process, so that in this way they will ensure ethical and inducement of free participation voting. So in this way here, yes, ECI will be ensuring free and fair elections in our country. And now let us see other important articles. The first one is the problem of equity in IPCC report. So if we are talking about this IPCC report, in a study published on March 4th, researchers analyzed more than 500 future emission scenarios. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that is UPSC, came up with this recent reports. So now this report is saying that yes, there is a problem of equity. So equality is different from equity. So you have to remember and you have to see what exactly the difference between this equality and equity. So if you're talking about details, it says that the scenarios, they were found to project high carbon sequestration from the land-based carbon sinks, like we have forests. So forests are the carbon sinks. They absorb as much as carbon dioxide as possible. And higher deployment of carbon capture and storage technologies, they are coming up in the developing countries compared to the developed ones. That means in developed countries, they are not focusing on absorption of carbon, but developing countries, they are coming up with lots and lots of measures. For example, you can take India. So here poorer countries, they concluded that they would bear the burden of both mitigation action and as well as carbon dioxide removal, and as well as to come up with the carbon capture and storage mechanisms. So in the study here, IPCC concluded that so we need equitable and as well as sound environment. Okay, so this is about this topic, and next one, it is about how this new election commissioner selected. Again, this is very important topic from prelims. So you can expect prelims question regarding this election commissioners, appointment process and criteria for selection committee, etc. So you have to go through this topic well. 100% you can get question. So if you see the context, it says that the president has appointed Gyanesh Kumar and Sukhoi Singh Sandhu. They were both retired IAS officers as election commissioners to fill up 2 vacancies in the 3-member election commission. So recently one member, he resigned, right? So there are 2 vacancies. In that 2 vacancies, Gyanesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu, they were appointed as election commissioners. So if you see the details, we have this article 324. Article 324 of our Indian Constitution, which talks about superintendent's direction and control of elections in an election commission. And the terms of the new law, the 2 election commissioners, they were selected by 3-member selected committee. So in this 3-member selected committee, we have Prime Minister, we have Union Home Minister, and we have leader of Indian National Congress in Lok Sabha. Okay, and as leader of opposition party. So here you have to know about this election commissioner appointment or like selection committee members. So in this way also you can expect the question. And now let us move back to paper and let us see other important articles. So in this opinion page, there is one data point. So if you have time, you can go through that. It is saying that no major change in employment status or wages in 10 years. Okay, you have to see about the data of employment and don't critically or criticize any government here. So just see the data, that's it. So in this text and context, I discussed those topics. And you can move on to this news page, and in this news page, I found nothing much important. So I will be showing only articles which are relevant from your examination. I don't want to waste your single minute also. And in this news analysis also, I don't want to discuss like irrelevant articles to just increase the length of video, because it will be wasting of your time and my time also. Yes, here you can see one article that is talking about European Union and Egypt agree to Euro 7.4 billion deal on energy and migration. So actually it is not much important, but have a look about this. And that's it. So these are the very important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. And now I will show you like where can you get the notes of this class. So here we have a Telegram channel, that is Rathods IS Classes Telegram channel. So you can join this channel so that you can get the class notes. And this is our website, Rathods IS Academy website, and exam is very much near. And if you want to take admissions for this foundation course for 2025 and 2026, you can come and you can take offline admission. Okay, so I will be available in the office, so you can come and you can meet me directly. And if you want to get the mentorship, you can come and you can feel free to talk with me regarding your problems and how to approach this UPSC. And one more thing is, as you know, I said that we are going to conduct this prelims examination. So because of issues of my son and because of this APPSC examination, so we postponed to the next Sunday. So next Sunday you will be having 100% examination. And for that you can come to office and you can register, or you can text me on WhatsApp on this number 8074765513, and you can do the registration for the examination. So registration is compulsory to write examination and to attend the free classes that we are going to provide from next Monday onwards. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you really like this class, hit the like button and don't forget to share this video to your friends. And even if anyone who are staying in this Ashok Nagar or in Hyderabad, please refer Rathods IS to your friends so that they can come and they can meet me. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IS Academy.